Okay, bonjour les cinquièmes, bonjour year 8. So this is your first lesson for week 5. Donc, on trace une ligne, on copie la date en français et le titre, révision Spring 1. Trace a line from the previous lesson, copy the date in French and the title. Now, when you're ready, please translate these verbs. I went, I go, I'm going to go. I did, I do, I'm going to do. I took, I take, I'm going to take. As a challenge, please conjugate with other subject pronouns as well. So you can see we have perfect tense first, then present, and then near future. Okay, pause this video and translate them in your book. Okay, so I went is je suis allé. There's an extra in bracket here if you're a girl, because when you use être in a perfect tense, you need to agree the past participle. And the mark of the feminine is extra e. I go is je vais, okay, and I'm going to go, je vais aller. Here we have aller first, je vais in the present, and then the infinitive of to go is aller. So je vais aller, I'm going to go. So these are all irregulars. I did, j'ai fait, okay. We have auxiliary avoir and past participle, which is irregular. Je fais, I do. Je vais faire, I'm going to do. I took is j'ai pris. We have an irregular past participle again. Je prends, I take. Je vais prendre, I'm going to take. Okay, so whenever you're ready, you can move on to the next page. So we are this week revising the vocabulary and grammar that we've learned since Spring 1. So first, I would like you to write the following 24-hour clock time in digits. So you don't need to write down the 6 ones there. You can just write down in digits the time that it means. Okay, so pause this video and complete this activity. When you finish, please use a red pen for the correction. Okay. First one, 17h15 is 5:15. 9h10, 9:10. 20h30, 8:30. 21h45, 9:45. 22h50, 10 to 11. Et 23h, 11 o'clock. Okay, give yourself a score out of 6. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to do the next activity, which is a reading comprehension activity. On va lire, we're going to read. I'm going to read this out loud for you so you know what it all sounds like. And your task is to answer the questions in English in your book. Okay, I've specified how many answers are required per question. So 5 questions at the bottom you can see. Okay. Bonjour, je m'appelle Martha Koundé. Je suis médecin bénévole pour une association caritative qui s'appelle Médecins sans frontières. Mon travail, il est parfois difficile, mais il est très satisfaisant. Le matin, je me lève à 6 heures. D'abord, je me douche, puis je m'habille. Je prends le petit déjeuner à 6h15 et ensuite, je me brosse les dents. Je quitte la maison à 6h30 et je vais à l'hôpital à pied. Je commence le travail à 7h et je termine à midi. Je rentre à la maison pour déjeuner. Je retourne à l'hôpital à 14h et je travaille jusqu'à 20h, puis je rentre à la maison. Je dîne, je me déshabille et finalement, je me couche. D'habitude, je suis très fatiguée quand je me couche. Voilà ma journée typique. So I'll let you pause the video and answer the questions in your book. So whenever you're ready, you may use a red pen for correction. Okay. Number 1, who's speaking and what do they do? Je m'appelle Martha Koundé. Her name is Martha Koundé. Je suis médecin bénévole means I'm a voluntary doctor. Okay. Who does she work for? Number 2, and what does she say about her work? She works for a charity called Médecins Sans Frontières, meaning Doctors Without Borders. She says that her work is sometimes difficult, parfois difficile. Très satisfaisant mean very satisfying. Number 3, her morning routine before she goes to work. There's 7 answers there. Je me lève à 6 heures is I get up at 6 o'clock. D'abord, je me douche. First, I wash myself. Puis, je m'habille. Then, I get dressed. Je prends le petit déjeuner à 6h15. I have breakfast at 6:15. Then, je me brosse les dents means I brush my teeth. Je quitte la maison à 6h30 is I leave the house at 6:30. And je vais à l'hôpital à pied. I go to the hospital on foot. So how many hours does she work? Okay. So she starts, je commence le travail à 7h, je termine à midi. She starts at 7, finishes at 12. Okay. Okay, that's 5. And then she goes back to the hospital after eating at home from 2 o'clock until 8 p.m. So in total, she works 11 hours. Number 5, her evening routine. Je dîne is I have dinner. She undresses herself and she goes to bed. Okay, so I'll let you give yourself a score. So it will be a score, okay, out of 16, sorry. Okay, then I wanted to talk to you about success criteria for writing. So you need a minimum, you need the 3 time frames represented, past, present, future. We also know since the year 7 the imperfect tense, and we've seen as well the conditional. Okay. You need varied subject pronouns, not just using I, je. Contrasted opinions and reasons. Using connective, time phrases that will help you with using the right tense. Varied vocabulary, incorporating the new vocabulary that we see as well. And some complex structures. So examples, comparisons, superlatives, some negatives, reflexive verbs. So what I'd like you to do, we're going to write a paragraph. It's going to be about 30 words per bullet points. So that's 3 bullet points, so about 90 words. But first, I'd like you to plan your paragraph before you start writing. So I'm going to demonstrate this now. For example, the first bullet point is, quelle est ta routine habituelle? What is your daily routine? So you're going to start planning, in English is fine, all the time phrases that you know, that go with the present tense. So here, the usual habit, daily routine, we're talking present tense. So usually, normally, every day of the week in general. So you're going to write down a few reflexive verbs that you can use. I get up at. I'm going to ask here to add an opinion such as I wake up at 6 o'clock and it's too early because I like to sleep late. Then sequences that we've seen, first, then, afterwards, after that, after school. So kind of jotting them down and remembering to use the sequences. And then the complex structure I'm going to use on this one, and it's completely up to you, but it's an example, will be a negative. I don't take any breakfast because I don't have time, these kind of things. Okay. Then the second bullet point that you're going to write about is this one. À quelle heure es-tu arrivé au collège hier et à quelle heure es-tu rentré? Meaning, at what time did you arrive at school yesterday and what time did you come home? So we're going to plan similar. Okay, well, the time phrase I know, yesterday. Okay, here, es-tu rentré? This is the perfect tense. No, so we're looking to use the perfect tense here. Okay, and contrast with your usual routine. However, in general, I did this, but yesterday I went to school by bus, for example. So all write down the perfect tense, a few verbs in the perfect tense. J'ai quitté la maison, I left the house. J'ai mangé, I ate, this kind of things. Write down reflexive verbs that you know in the perfect tense. Remember, the reflexive pronoun me, je me suis réveillé, goes before the auxiliary, which is always être with reflexive verb. Then the opinion I'm going to use for this paragraph is going to be, I got up later and I loved it because I was tired, for example. Then don't forget the sequences. And the complex structure we'll use in this paragraph, for example, again, it's up to you. It will be a comparison. I woke up later than my brother, for example. And the third paragraph that I'd like you to write about is about que vas-tu faire à l'avenir pour aider les autres? What are you going to do in the future to help others? So this is all the vocabulary on volunteer work that we talked about recently. So here, which tense am I looking at? Que vas-tu faire à l'avenir? We're talking about the future. So I need the near future here. Okay? So all the time phrases that we know about the future, jot them down as well before you start writing. Next week, next weekend, all of these. Then you're going to choose an activity that you're going to do. So for example, give out close. Near future tense, how do we say this in the future tense? We need aller plus infinitive. Je vais donner, I'm going to give. Then I will add an opinion. I love shopping, so I have a lot of clothes. And a complex structure in there will be, for example, a direct object pronoun. I give them every winter. Okay, so after having planned your paragraphs, your 3 bullet points, please write a 90 words paragraph, so about 30 words per bullet point, and upload your work, please, on Google Classroom. Okay, merci beaucoup la classe, au revoir.